All right. Welcome to the 2022 Desert Hot Springs State of the City and Business Expo. Special thanks and round of applause to the Desert Hot Springs High School Jazz Band for their wonderful music. Now I will ask everyone to stand for the flag presentation by the Desert Hot Springs High School ROTC and the national anthem by the Desert Hot Springs High School Choir.
Ready, cut, forward, march.
Thank you again. And thank you for that remarkable talent that came from our local high school. Let's give them a final round of applause. We are thrilled today that you are here. One of the Chamber's main objectives is to provide accessibility and education to local, state, and regional leaders. As part of that ongoing commitment, we are pleased to present the annual City Update in partnership with the City of Desert Hot Springs. Sorry, I'm popping here a little bit. I would like to thank and acknowledge all of the 2022 Greater Coachella Valley Chamber Board of Directors, along with the local professionals that serve on the local Desert Hot Springs Chamber of Commerce Business Committee, who work hard to support our local businesses. To our elected leaders who are with us here today, we want to thank you for your presence. And we want to encourage you to introduce yourself to them, as they are the business community in which they represent. So let's have all the elected officials to stand to be recognized so that our chamber members can come bug you later with all of their interesting information about local business. Give them a round of applause, please. We also would like to extend a thank you to the Desert Hot Springs Recreation Center for their hospitality and hosting this event today, and El Tranvia Restaurant for providing today's lunch. Applause for the lunch. And of course, none of these events can be possible without the generous support of our sponsors. We will start by recognizing our title sponsor for today's event, Amazon. Please help me welcome Tim Howe, Manager of Economic Development Policy at Amazon. Tim, come on up to the stage.
Good afternoon. I'm Tim Howe, Economic Development Policy Lead at Amazon. Amazon is a proud sponsor of the Desert Hot Springs State of the City Business Awards and Expo. In my role, I serve as a liaison between Amazon and state, regional, and local government in communities where Amazon is growing throughout Southern California. I also work with economic development and community organizations where our investments can support regional economic goals. We are proud to have hundreds of employees and many more customers in the Coachella Valley. Our economic impact in the Golden State includes investing more than $81 billion in California since 2010, adding $80 billion to state GDP, and creating more than 170,000 full and part-time jobs. Locally, our economic impact in the Inland Empire and Coachella Valley includes $19.3 billion invested since 2010. Our Inland Empire and Coachella Valley area investments contributed $15.4 billion to state GDP. More than 44,000 jobs and 38,000 indirect jobs were also created in the region. At Amazon, we have 16 leadership principles that describe how we do business and how we keep the customer at the center of our decisions. Last year, we added a new leadership principle: strive to be Earth's best employer. This is our commitment to working every day to create a safer, more productive, higher performing, more diverse work environment. Working alongside community partners, we build long-term programs that have a lasting positive impact. We have 13 affinity groups that serve as employee resource groups for more than 87,000 employees across the world and bring them together across businesses and locations. These affinity groups include Women at Amazon, Glamazon, Amazon People with Disabilities, and Warriors at Amazon. In particular, we actively recruit and have over 40,000 veterans and military spouses. Our upskilling opportunities for Amazon employees make it easy for people to have access to the skills they need to grow their careers. We collaborate with local colleges for our Career Choice program, where we prepay full college tuition for our operations employees looking to further their education towards high-demand occupations. These help Amazon build teams in the Coachella Valley who invent on behalf of our customers every day to meet their desires, as well as the more than 220,000 small and medium business sellers in California. As a region with forward-thinking leaders, we salute everyone here today that helps make the greater Coachella Valley business community stronger. And as a city with a future as bright as anywhere in the Golden State, we salute Mayor Scott Matas, the entire City Council, and the great staff at the City of Desert Hot Springs. Thank you.
Today's presenting sponsors are Desert Care Network, where I work, and Mission Springs Water, who have made available a sample of their award-winning water at your table. At this time, we're going to show a short video from Desert Care Network to talk about our network.
Hi, I'm Michelle Finney, CEO of Desert Care Network. We are 3 hospitals: Desert Regional Medical Center in Palm Springs, JFK Memorial Hospital in Indio, and High Desert Medical Center in Joshua Tree. We operate the Coachella Valley's highest level trauma center at Desert Regional and a level 4 trauma center at JFK. Desert Regional is the only DMV accredited comprehensive stroke center and the only level 3 neonatal intensive care unit in the Coachella Valley, and provides high-risk care for expectant moms. Our network operates 12 primary and specialty care clinics across our region, including the Comprehensive Cancer Center, Advanced Wound Healing Center, and El Mirador Surgery Center. Desert Care Network has an unwavering commitment to our community. We provide over $100 million in free and discounted health care to patients in need each year. We give nearly $1 million in charitable donations and sponsorships to organizations such as DAP Health, Fine Food Bank, the Women Leaders Forum, Volunteers in Medicine, and many more. We also volunteer our time and serve on over a dozen boards across the valley. We are dedicated, driven, and proud to serve the healthcare needs of the Coachella Valley, the Morongo Basin, and everyone who visits our desert. We are Desert Care Network.
Thank you. We also have some other sponsors, additional sponsors for today's event, and I want to recognize them. We have AT&T, the City of Desert Hot Springs, Desert Valley Disposal Services, Desert Water Agency. Let's give them all a round of applause for their support of today's event. And just a quick note, if you'll take a look at the bottom of your water bottle on your table from Mission Springs, the fantastic water, there is an orange dot on the bottom of one of those, and that's the person who gets to take home the flowers today. So don't forget to take home your flowers. And thank you, Mission Springs, for the water. All right. Okay. Too much celebration. I should have held that to the end. Okay. So we're going to move into our next phase of our awards process, and there's going to be 4 awards today. And as part of that, I want to welcome to the stage Jeff Homan of Emerge Home Mortgages, so he can come to the stage. He is also our chairperson for the Desert Hot Springs Chamber of Commerce. We maintained all the local chambers when we all merged together as the Greater Coachella Valley Chamber to take advantage of scale. We didn't want to lose the local flavor, so Jeff has been instrumental in keeping together our chamber board at the local level, and I want to welcome him to help us with our awards. So he's going to give the first award. Jeff, come on up.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Rich, for that introduction. Our first award is going to Ivan Sewell, and I'm not sure if there's anyone in this room who does not know Ivan. Ivan owns Top Shop, the only print shop right here in Desert Hot Springs. Ivan was born and raised in the city and graduated from DHS High School. After college, Ivan returned to DHS with his wife, Brianna, to open their new print and design business. The Top Shop has been in business for 10 years and recognized in 2015 as the Desert Hot Springs Small Business of the Year. If you want any examples of the work that Ivan and Brianna do, you can look at pretty much anything that has my logo on it, because almost all of my design and printing comes from them. Ivan also serves as board member of Mission Springs Water District and is also a commissioner on the Riverside County Flood Control and Water Conservation District. In addition, Ivan is an active Desert Hot Springs Rotarian and has served as a Rotary board member for the past 7 years. If I have my way, he will soon be president also, but that's an ongoing debate. Ivan also volunteers as the DHS Library Liaison on behalf of Rotary, volunteers his time and graphic design expertise to the DHS Historical Society, and supports the youth of Desert Hot Springs through managing fundraisers, donating his time and money to projects and programs that he believes in. Ivan loves living, working, and volunteering in Desert Hot Springs. I can tell you one of the reasons Ivan was nominated for this award is because of how active he is. There are many events that happen here in the city through Rotary or through other sources that Ivan might not be the face of. He might not be the point man doing it, but he's the one always in the background helping set things up, helping with the audio visual. Almost every event that I've been to here in the city, Ivan is in the background doing something, whether it's promoting it, graphic design, helping with setup, helping get volunteers. Ivan is very active, and we really appreciate how much work he puts in with almost little to no recognition. So Ivan, please come up.
Well, I think Jeff said more than enough, but a big thank you to the Chamber. I appreciate being selected for this award, but I do want to acknowledge that there's a lot of deserving volunteers here in our community. I think we're pretty lucky to have so many great organizations and groups working hard every day to make Desert Hot Springs a better place, and I'm happy to just be a small part of that. I do also want to thank my lovely wife, who is driving here right now from her 3rd grade class, but didn't make it in time. Without her, all of her hard work, I would not be able to do the amount of volunteering that I do. So if you see her, tell her, oh, there she is. I just said thank you to you, Brianna.
There she is.
But I do want to take a minute to give a shout out to the group that I volunteer most with, and that's Desert Hot Springs Rotary. This is our 75th anniversary this year, and we've been around since before the city was even incorporated. So here we are 75 years later, still working hard, trying to make Desert Hot Springs a better place. And I just wanted to do a quick, if you're a Desert Hot Springs Rotarian, if you could raise your hand. Quite a few of you. We have over 60 members now, and almost all of the work we do goes back to the youth of our community. So if you'd like to learn more, see how you could help and get involved, you can talk to any of those people that just raised their hand. So thank you to the Chamber, and thank you to everyone.
Let's get a picture.
Thank you again, Ivan. And for our next award, I'm going to pass it back off to Rich.
We're doing the tag team. All right. I got to get on the right page. Okay, so next up is New Business of the Year. And this year's award for New Business of the Year goes to Juanita Ramirez of El Rancho 6 Butcher Shop. Rancho Meat Market number 6 is a local family-owned business that has been delivering quality cuts of meat and a variety of Mexican products to Valley residents. 30 years of local experience places them at the top of the local Carson areas. The original store opened in Coachella and quickly expanded into Cathedral City. It was then that Juanita and Roberto immediately recognized the amount of customers traveling in from Desert Hot Springs. He then knew what the next business step would be. So we welcome, I guess it's not Juanita. Oh, Juanita, there we go. Okay. Hi, come on up and you receive your award. Congratulations. Say a few words.
I guess I'm going to speak because my mom's kind of nervous. My name's Alex, and aside with me is Juanita, my mom. We grew since Cathedral City, Carniceria Rancho Número 4, and we started to grow and expand to the same city, Cathedral City, and now we're here in Desert Hot Spring, where God has helped us grow as a business. And we thank each and every person from the city that has helped us with the planning, from Eric, I don't know if Richard's here, from inspection, and each and every person that has helped us alongside. Whenever you guys want quality meats, just go to the business. We're located right next to Metro PCS, next to Royal Emerald, and may God bless the city of Desert Hot Springs. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, and Jeff is going to announce the final award, and then he will invite up the mayor to do the mayor's award. So, Jeff, take it away.
All right, thank you again, Rich. Here in the desert, we have over 130 registered nonprofits ranging in size, industry, and longevity. Today's local nonprofit of the year is awarded to Angel View, Jay Seller, and Damian Navarro. Hope you guys are here. Angel View, the largest private employer in the city of Desert Hot Springs, was founded in 1954. on a natural hot mineral spring on Miracle Hill Road. The therapeutic waters, considered among the highest quality in the world, soothed the effects of polio, helping children's aches and pains, and aided in their rehabilitation. A 52-bed rehab hospital was constructed there, and originally, clients were cared for at this facility, which now serves as the headquarters of Angel View's therapeutic adult day program. When polio was eradicated, Angel View expanded its treatment program to care for both children and adults with intellectual disabilities, most of whom also have physical disabilities. Since those early days, Angel View built and currently operates 6-bed residential group homes where clients receive loving care in family-like environments. 12 of those residences are in Desert Hot Springs. 10 years ago, to assist families struggling to raise children with disabilities, we launched Angel View Children's Outreach, which is funded entirely by donations. Since the outset, Angel View has raised funds for its programs by operating resale stores. Starting in the 1960s, with one shop in Palm Springs, Angel View has developed a thriving network of resale stores with 2 clearance centers. I think everything's okay. Their largest and newest clearance center is on Dillon Road, along with offices, transportation center, and warehouse. Donations and proceeds from store sales are a critically important source of funding that enables Angel View to provide clients with a better quality of life. A personal note on Angel View, I don't know if they've done one since COVID, but I remember their Angel View prom. I thought that was a great event, and I hope they will speak something to that. So please join us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're happy to accept this honor from the city of Desert Hot Springs. We have been here for 58 years, so we plan on continuing our relationship. As we mentioned, we have 12 properties in the city. 11 of those properties are homes for disabled clients. And our clients come to us usually for life, coming to us at numerous ages in their life. And our oldest client is 84, and our youngest client is 8 years old. And they're all family home situations. So they will plan their dinners together, activities together, go to school together, etc. And it's really an incredible mission, an incredible job that we do. And we couldn't do it without people donating to us and shopping at our stores. And we really, really thank you for that. Yes, prom is coming back. We do a prom once a year, and that is actually sponsored by the Rotary Club in Rancho Mirage. So another plug to the Rotary. And that's a really exciting event where all of our clients get to dress up, be together, and just share a fun evening like a high school prom. And let's see, what else can I say? Oh, since Desert Hot Springs has such a powerful Rotary Club, I'm a member of the Sun Up Rotary Club in Palm Springs. So if you don't like the Desert Hot Springs Club, we have a place for you. So, again, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Damien is one of my district managers here with me, and he serves 9 stores he works with, I believe. And we all get to cover the whole area. We have 41 properties in the valley. Thank you.
All right, our 4th and final award is our Mayor's Choice Award. So please welcome to the stage Mayor Scott Mattis.
Well, it's always fun. There's not a lot you get to do as mayor. You always have to build consensus with your city council, but there's a couple things that I get to do just on my own. And one of the things is each and every year the Greater Coachella Valley Chamber of Commerce, there's all these long names, and the Desert Hot Springs Chamber of Commerce gives me an opportunity to give a mayor's award to a local business owner, volunteer, however I choose. And this year, I really wanted to honor someone that's been in my life politically for a long time and as a friend, and I really wanted to honor him and say thank you for all his hard work to our community. Eric Pontius, would you join me up here? Eric is the owner of Playoff Sports Bar. He's also the owner of Bar One Catering. But Eric's more known for what he does for our community here in Desert Hot Springs. Since coming to our community, he has been at almost everything that I can think of when it comes to volunteering in different places for our community, but the one that always stands out to me is he's really active in our food programs here in Desert Hot Springs, making sure that our community is fed where needed and when needed. And when it comes to youth sports, he's there. There's not a place that you can't find Eric at when it comes to the needs of our community. And he stepped up as a business owner, a resident, and just a good person overall. Thank you, Eric.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Scott, for the award. Just a quick thing. I found Desert Hot Springs by accident, honestly. About 20 years ago, I was driving down the freeway. I was trying to buy a bar in L.A. Most of my business was in Los Angeles. I run the bar catering from there to here. So my parents lived out here, so I was staying with them. And I drove in, couldn't find anything, and I was frustrated. And I came back, and I stopped in Desert Hot Springs because I was like, I'm just going to see this town. I've never seen it. My parents have lived out here for 10 years. I've never been to this town. Well, I drove off to Palm Drive, and then I drove on to Palm Drive, and then I drove on to Palm Drive, and then I found Desert Hot Springs. And I found this little bar. I went to a couple places, and it wasn't really my vibe, and I went in, stepped into Playoffs, and I was immediately greeted by the bartender, and it was a karaoke night, and they were having a good time, and I sat there and had a beer, and I thought, man, this is the kind of place I cut my teeth in. So I left, and I came home, and I opened the Sunday LA Times, and there was an new ad for a bar for sale in the LA Times, and I called on it, and the guy says, well, do you have the money? I'm like, yes. He goes, in cash? And I'm like, wow, where is this going? I'm like, yes, I have the money in cash. You don't even tell me where the bar is, you know? And he's like, well, you won't know. It's in a place called Desert Hot Springs. And I'm like, what's it called? He goes, it's called Playoffs. I'm like, wow. I go, weirdly enough, I was in your bar for the very first time last night. He said, well, you're full of it. And I'm like, no, your bartender's name is Sharisa, and it was karaoke night last night. He goes, you were in my bar last night. I go, I was in your bar last night, and you're going to be out of your bar in 2 weeks. I called my business partner, changed our complete business plan, and I said, we're buying a bar in Desert Hot Springs. He said, Desert what? I said, I'll explain it later. 1 year later, I bought my house here. I brought my family here, and we've been here ever since. And it was the best move I could have ever made. I have met so many wonderful people in this town. This town was a tabula rasa. It was a beautiful place to come because there was so much to do. Ian, people like that, getting together and like making change. It's remarkable, and it's continuing to grow, and it is because of the hard work of the people in this room. So I applaud all of you for all of your hard work. I thank you so much for this honor. Thank you so much.
And I think that does it for the awards. Let's give a round of applause for all the award winners. And I'm going to have the mayor hang tight because he's coming up next to do the State of the City. So I'm going to turn the gavel over to Mayor Scott Mattis. Oh, wait, I got to read an introduction. Hold on. What the heck am I thinking? I have a whole introduction here, guys. All right. Mayor Mattis is a lifetime resident of Desert Hot Springs, born and raised. He attended here and now is proudly raising his family in Desert Hot Springs, or attended school here and is now proudly raising his family in Desert Hot Springs. Mayor Mattis and his wife, Victoria, have been married for 5 years and have a blended family with 2 boys, Lucas and Owen, and her 3 daughters, Rhea, Cassia, and Chloe. Lucas works as an EMT for San Gregorio Memorial Hospital and Mission Ambulance. He's married and gave Scott and Victoria their first grandchild 2 years ago. Excellent. Owen graduated from the University of California, Riverside with a BA in English and is now working for the nonprofit Olive Crest in their at-risk youth program in Paris, California. He is finishing his teaching credential at Cal State San Bernardino and interning at Desert Hot Springs High School. Rhea is in her first year at Arizona State University studying business. Cassia is a senior at Desert Hot Springs High School, and Chloe is in 7th grade at Painted Hills Middle School. Mayor Mattis owned a small business for nearly 10 years, A member of the Desert Hot Springs Rotary Club, volunteered for 20 years and with the Desert Hot Springs Volunteer Fire Department, spent 2 years as the president of Food Now, and has volunteered with Desert Hot Springs Little League for over 20 years coaching and umpiring. He currently works for Desert Resort Management as a community manager with a portfolio of 5 homeowner associations and 1 special district. He has served on the city council since 2007 and was elected mayor in 2015. Now you can come to the stage, Mayor Scott Mattis.
Welcome to Desert Hot Springs, and I kind of loaded my bio with my family because it's so important for me to recognize them when it comes to the hard work that it takes to be the mayor of Desert Hot Springs, let alone any public official. And I wanted to first thank the one person that makes it possible every day for me to go out and do the things I do, my beautiful wife, the First Lady of Desert Hot Springs, Victoria Mattis. So, again, thank you for coming to the city of Desert Hot Springs and listening to what our update will be from what's happened in the last year up to what will go on in the near future. It's exciting things for the city of Desert Hot Springs, and I'm really pleased to be here today. Before I begin, you always kind of figure either you're going to tell a joke or you're going to give a quote. Lately, I've been telling jokes to my family, dad jokes, and they aren't laughing anymore, so I'm going to give a quote. Mother Teresa said, "I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the water to create many ripples." And I kind of think that's fitting for the city of Desert Hot Springs. We've been casting a lot of stones for many years, and for the last 6 years as mayor, I've been really looking forward to what those ripples will be, and I believe we're really getting there, and I think you'll see that and believe that today when this presentation's over. So let's get started. I only have 360 slides. Why are you laughing? I'm joking. No, I will not. I'll get you out of here quickly if I can learn how to use this thing. Roberta showed me, and I still can't do it right. There we go. We always start with the city's finances and where we are. We want to show that we're healthy. Since taking over as mayor in 2016 and the city councils that have served with me, we've made sure that our budget stays strong. We have a fund balance of over $57 million. We have our general fund balance of over $13 million, and the tax revenues and the reserves are strong in the city of Desert Hot Springs, and I don't need to speak to that anymore. We continue to try to convince people it's the truth, it's on paper, it's a fact. City of Desert Hot Springs is financially stable. With that, last year, the city of Desert Hot Springs went out for bonds to really focus on our public safety in our community. We actually went out and produced $16 million in bonds, and this will help build a new fire station in our community, but let alone it will remodel the current fire station and the current police station with an annex that will help build a public safety campus at the corner of West and Pearson. We also implemented the OpenGov financial software for the city of Desert Hot Springs. This basically is going to be a transparent way for you as the public to be able to see what's going on in everyday life in our finances. So if you ever have a question about what line items or what, you'll be able to reach into this virtually and be able to see what's going on. Very transparent. Our dispatch center is something that we announced last year that we were going to bring back to the city of Desert Hot Springs. We went through the process of remodeling our police department to bring in the first new state-of-the-art dispatch center in the state of California. Unfortunately, we're not live yet, and there's a story behind that. So our poor contractors were working really hard to build our dispatch center. We're ready to go live in August, and the state of California said, no, you've got to do some more work. And so the state of California made us expand our IT closet to a very large closet because of the cloud-based system that they're forcing all the new dispatch centers to go to and eventually be part of. There's been a lot of bugs to work out since we're the first ones, so we keep getting this, you got to wait another 30 days, 60 days. Right now, we're opening our dispatch center live in January of 2023. Our current dispatchers that we hire a full staff, are working out of the Cathedral City Dispatch Center, which we contracted with, and they are the ones answering your phone calls for help today. We're really excited about this. We're excited that we'll have the first state-of-the-art dispatch center in the state of California once the state of California works out their bugs. We'll have it up and running, and we'll be answering the 911 dispatch right here in the city of Desert Hot Springs, giving better customer service. The public safety campus that I spoke about at the corner of Pearson and West is the current fire station, Station 37, and the police department. We'll be expanding the police department with an annex that will actually house the sergeants, the records. There'll be more of a customer service counter for individuals needing help when it comes to public safety needs in our police department, and that construction will start next year. I love this picture. Not all our officers are that big, but these guys are, I dare you to come to Desert Hot Springs and do crime. With that said, we recently reached out. We had a lot of problems, as a lot of local agencies did, on retaining police officers or even going through the process. So we've reached out to a recruiting firm that will be working closely with the city of Desert Hot Springs to make sure that we recruit the right officers for our city that will hopefully stick around and really serve the community. Our officers received a 16% increase. Our sergeants received a 13.5 pay increase, and this brought us to a point where our officers don't need to use this as a stepping stone anymore. They can stay here and have a full career here if they choose to. So we're really proud about that. And the reason I brought up the recruiting firm is it's always tough to keep that. The city council budgets at 33 positions. We're at 26. We have 2 in background. We have 3 community service officers that are fully staffed, and we hope to be fully staffed by sometime mid next year, if not sooner. Crime and safety in the city of Desert Hot Springs is really, really important to the city of Desert Hot Springs. I'm going to show you some numbers here in a few minutes, and I think some of you might even be shocked about it. But the nation is experiencing an increase in crime, but not particularly in Desert Hot Springs. And I want to start with these numbers here. I want to thank CVEP and the Department of Justice for providing these numbers. This is the Coachella Valley. If you look at the orange, that's 2001, and if you look at the green, black, whatever's on your screen there, it's 2022 or 21, so it's 20 years later. And you can see the difference in crime and how they pan out. This is a really cool slide here. Property crime reported by 1,000 residents. Yes, Desert Hot Springs is at the bottom. If you look at the orange line there from 2001, we were the highest in people reporting property crime in the Coachella Valley at just around 76 people per 1,000. As of 2021, only 2, the lowest in the Coachella Valley. Violent crime. There's a lot of categories to that, but per 1,000 residents, the city of Desert Hot Springs in 2001 was reporting about 16 people per 1,000, the highest in the Coachella Valley. This last year, 2021, we were the 3rd lowest in the Coachella Valley, less than 1 person. In overall crime per 1,000 people, in 2001, Desert Hot Springs was the highest at 92.3. And in 2021, the lowest in less than 3 people. And we're going to keep those officers, the pictures of those officers, with their muscles up there. That'll stop you from doing crime in Desert Hot Springs, hopefully. This is really cool. Our police department reached out, and they were part of a acquisition of a comfort dog. This is Albert. Albert runs around our police department and comforts our police officers and support staff, and he goes out to community events. He's a wonderful addition to our police department. He was trained at Guide Dogs of the Desert. Not every dog graduates to a owner, but they go off to do other things, and this is what Albert's doing for our community here today, so we're really happy to have him. Our animal control, we've upgraded our animal control facility for many years. We contracted with the Riverside County, and what we did with our animal control is we brought it back and reorganized it and remodeled it. We can only keep so many animals there, so it's kind of tough sometimes, but we've added misting systems, more fencing, whatever we can do to keep the animals local here in Desert Hot Springs so they don't end up in the Riverside County facility. And the reason for that is we want owners to be able to get their pets back to them in need. And if animals are in need of service, we can get them the services they need. This is a great addition to the city of Desert Hot Springs. So we've had a lot of questions about the animal hospital here in the city of Desert Hot Springs, and one of the directions by the majority of the council was to go out and work a partnership to try to bring back the animal hospital here in Desert Hot Springs. Well, I'm glad to say today that it's coming back to the city of Desert Hot Springs. And even better, at no cost to the city of Desert Hot Springs, the Humane Society is closing up. They are gifting that facility to the city of Desert Hot Springs at no cost, and we will partner with a nonprofit to run that, and you'll see that open hopefully first quarter, if not second quarter of next year. Along with that property comes their animal sanctuary off of Indian Canyon. This is a location that our police department and our animal control has been really looking at as an opportunity for the city of Desert Hot Springs to be able to take animals to an area that's a no-kill shelter. Again, we'll be working out the bugs on that, and if it's possible, we can use that as a no-kill shelter and bring our animals that we have in our facility and not have to take them to Riverside County, where sometimes they're overcrowded and sometimes they have to do what we don't want them to do. So we're really excited about this project. In our fire department, Station 37 at the corner of Pearson and West is the busiest fire station in the county at over 5,000 calls per year. This is why we're remodeling that station. The reason we're remodeling it is we need to make it bigger. We're going to add a medic squad to that station, and then we're in the process of breaking ground on a new fire station, Station 98, which would be at the corner of Hacienda and Long Canyon, the transition there. That'll be the third fire station in the city of Desert Hot Springs and really relieve the much-needed services for the east part of our community. That station, we've ordered they call it a fire truck, but it's called a Quint. It's a middle between a fire engine and a fire truck. Our Chief Brevlin can tell us all about it, but it'll excite me because I used to be a volunteer fireman, might not you. But it's exciting to see this coming to our community. This fire engine Quint will actually serve 5 purposes and will be stationed out of Station 98. We'll start with the medic squad at Station 37 to help relieve calls and then hopefully transition staff members up there when that station opens. That station is actually slated to break ground in May of 2023, which will be next year. It's very exciting for us as our fire needs in our community are underserved, and we actually could use 2 more fire stations easily, if not 3. I'm sure the fire chief would argue. So we're hoping to really relieve the call volume out of Station 37 with this new groundbreaking next year for this new state-of-the-art fire station. And these are some of the pictures of our fire staff out in the public doing the community service that we ask them to do and really touch base with our community. And then obviously the work that they do to protect our community each and every day. I think I clicked too fast, sorry about that. I also wanted to talk about our code compliance department. Our code compliance department works really hard each and every day for the needs of our community. Myself and Councilmember Roger Nunez worked really hard as a subcommittee to bring a 3-pronged program to code compliance that will help code compliance help clean up our community. The first is we asked the City Council to give us start a pilot program that will and allotted $500,000. We used housing money and ARPA money to be able to do this. And this money is actually going to give $10,000 grants to small businesses that are out of compliance if they need to build a trash enclosure or fix their property up. This will help do that. We also have a small committee, Jim Nadell, I know he's here today, and Jackie Devereaux, who's worked very close with me, and I appreciate all their help. And they're helping me identify a neighborhood that we can go in. And we'll find property owners in these neighborhoods that need help, such as maybe a roof or landscaping or some paint. And we'll give up to $10,000 grants for them also. But the coolest part of this program is getting into our local schools. Working with Desert Valley Disposal, I really appreciate all their help. These individuals will go into schools and educate kids with the new SB 1383, I believe. That's the organic waste bill that actually forces all of us into now recycling our organic waste, which is our food waste. And we have to train our constituents on how to do this correctly, right? So we were going out to the schools, and who better to teach their parents to put the waste where it needs to go but kids? So we're really focused on the kids of our community, going out, giving them the opportunity to learn how to do this correctly, and then teach their parents not to dump their trash anywhere but where it's needed. And this was the first program that we did a couple weekends ago where we went out to the school, we did an educational program, and then the kids actually went out and cleaned up around their school. And we'll continue to do this quarterly with our partners at Palm Springs Unified School District on picking a school, doing the training, and then going out on a Saturday morning and cleaning up around their schools in hopes that we'll be able to keep our community clean. Code Compliance is out doing programs in all these neighborhoods, and this again is just another opportunity for them to educate the individuals on how to utilize the bins, trash bins that are much needed in our community. They're focused on hiring some new they did hire some new contract code enforcement officers that are out helping focus on our commercial and our residential areas in our community. And they're really going to focus on making sure that these businesses stay in compliance along with our residential areas and really focus on helping our current code compliance staff be able to do what they need to do each and every day. I wanted to talk a little bit about STVRs. Anybody know about that? I'm just joking. It's all over the news. We hear it each and every day, and Desert Hot Springs is not immune to that. Being a city that has a lot of tourism come to it, STVRs has obviously exploded in our community. Councilmember Betts and Mayor Pro Tem Gardner worked together on a subcommittee to really bring a good ordinance back to the City Council, which focused on the noise and the restrictions that will happen over time in these areas, along with identifying the bad players out there, the ones that aren't doing what they need to do. So with that said, I really appreciate the two of them and all the hard work they brought to the City Council. We will be bringing back very soon an opportunity for Desert Hot Springs to look at the different neighborhoods and what's going on within them, and if the STVR program is overtaking neighborhoods, we could put restrictions on the future, but right now we have a good program. It brings in close to $750,000 each year in revenues for the City of Desert Hot Springs, and I think it's a good partnership that we've put together with our STVR owners. This is something that's always really hard to understand, why people dump trash in the desert. And recently, a friend of mine came over to my house, and we were having some dinner, and he was telling me that he took his side-by-side out in the desert just to kind of, get it prepared for a trip, and he was out in the back of one of the canyons, and he just couldn't believe how much trash was dumped back there. I still don't understand it to today. In the City of Desert Hot Springs, we have 4 free pickups that you can get each year, plus you can call up to 4 times each year for pickup in front of your home. Please put your trash in the proper places and stop putting it in our deserts. If you do get caught putting it in our deserts, we have now put a $10,000 fine if you are caught, and we will make sure that that's, thank you. Cannabis compliance, obviously the City of Desert Hot Springs has worked with the cannabis community, and we have a lot of area to grow in. And so with that, the number of facilities to date is 67. We have 12 storefront retail properties. Cultivation is 14, manufacturing is 3, multi-use is 31, distribution 5, and non-storefront retail is 5. In 2022, we have regulatory permits being issued to 7. So the industry, there's a lot of talk about it kind of even out or where it's going, and we continue to be strong in the City of Desert Hot Springs, and it brings in a very large chunk of revenue for our community. But before we get there, let's talk about the jobs that it's produced. Over 2,700 jobs, and because of the way that we track them and they have to be licensed, we're able to see how many are actually Desert Hot Springs residents. 36% of those are Desert Hot Springs employees or residents, and that adds up to 995 of those are actually employed. We have 515,000 square feet of taxable cultivation, and an additional total square feet of 21,000 coming online. These are the revenues at the end of the fiscal year, June 30, 2021. We took in with cultivation and retail sales tax just over $5.2 million. In 2022, at the end of the fiscal year, you saw the retail sales drop a little bit. Everybody had to go back to work from COVID, so they couldn't go buy their product anymore. But the cultivation stayed strong, and it continues to grow each year, and we took in a little less than what we were hoping for in this, projected in this year, but $5.3 million in tax revenue. And when you have about a $21 million budget, you can see how that really does affect the needs of your community. This is a cool project that's slated. If you came up Palm Drive, one of the first major hotels that you'll hit is the Agua Soleil Hotel. If you kind of check out the back of it, very behind it used to be an old RV park. Well, they've kind of revamped that, and you've got a bunch of vintage Airstreams back there now, and they're actually going to partner with a company called, I think I missed it there, Humboldt Social. And Humboldt Social is going to actually use our entertainment licensing process and build a facility that they'll be able to use product there. They're going to reopen the restaurant, have spa services, and it's a really cool facility, so we're looking forward to that there. Here are some of the pictures there. There they are. The site plan there is right behind the Agua Soleil Hotel at the corner of Park Lane and Palm Drive. Here's some of the renderings. We'll get through that, and we look to have that open sometime next year. Moving forward on that, in the cannabis entertainment facilities, we have one that's slated to be built at the corner of west of Little Morongo and the south of Dillon Road. It's in the process of planning right now. It's kind of a cool facility. We don't have a lot of renderings with it now, but it's going to be an entertainment facility. It'll be 19,000 square feet, and on the top we'll have a pool area and kind of a social club in the cannabis entertainment industry. So we'll have more on that next State of the City next year. And these are the Desert Hot Springs brands that are in Desert Hot Springs. Again, a lot of people talk about the industry and where it's going and how it's starting to level out, but our brands seem to be staying strong, and we're really proud about that. My wife is saying, "You need some water." Yes, I do. It's not a plug. It's not a plug for Mission Springs Water District, but maybe a little bit. Hey, Mission Springs, thanks. This water here is actually what comes out of the tap. You should, if you taste it and you like it, move to Desert Hot Springs. Here's some of our other brands in Desert Hot Springs. It's just really great to see our brand staying strong in the city of Desert Hot Springs and focusing on the needs of that. You'll see one of the brands there is Pabst Blue Ribbon. They actually have a manufacturing location in the city of Desert Hot Springs, and they manufacture a seltzer that's infused with cannabis. So it's really kind of cool, some of the different people that are working in the city of Desert Hot Springs. Now, to Public Works, this is what everybody likes to see. What projects are going on and where are they going? The city has a citywide slurry project, which is about a little over $56,000 in the city of Desert Hot Springs. We partnered with Southern California Gas, who put in some new lines and other things, and we waited for them to finish their work before we go in and slurry. You'll see that continue throughout our city today. In our youth parks, Mission Springs Park and Wardman Park, we had some lighting issues that the fields weren't completely lit. So we went out and spent a little over $600,000 in new lighting in our parks to make sure that our youth sports have enough light as they grow to be able to serve their needs. The Palm Drive North project. So we've been really focusing since I became mayor 6 years ago on the safety along our corridor of Palm Drive, and we've done multiple projects. This is another one of those projects going up Palm Drive from Pearson Boulevard to Mission Lakes Boulevard, and you'll see some of the contracting already started on the east side of the street. They're putting in new sidewalks and curbs and gutters and approaches. They'll be putting in more street lights. They also will put in a four-way stop at Palm and 12th where the Big Dip is. I know a lot of you are concerned about that. And bike lanes. So watch for construction, or watch out, construction has started there. And just be aware when you're driving through there that construction is going on so that you're safe. The Hacienda Improvement Project, which we talked about a couple years ago about receiving STIP money for in moving this project forward, is about 1.5 miles on Hacienda from West Drive to Tamar Drive, and this is aimed mostly to improve the safety along that route with bike lanes, sidewalks, new landscaping, curbs and gutters, and those types of things. Here's kind of a rendering of what some of it is. I know that our staff is working hard to finish some of the purchasing and some of the right-of-way issues along that street, and construction will start soon on that. But what happened about that time when that project was announced was that the hoteliers came out to really talk to us about what was more needed in the east end of that street. So the street ends about 3/4 from Palm Drive up that, not even 3/4, probably about a quarter of the way up that street. And it stops right in our spa zone. So a lot of our hoteliers came out and said, we really want you to focus on really beautifying that area. So our staff worked really hard quickly a couple years ago to put together some renderings, some drawings, and some plans for that area. And I want to kind of show you, it's kind of in 3 segments here. It goes from that project to Mar all the way up to Long Canyon. And it's going to add new streetlights, new sidewalks, new bike lanes, new curbs and gutters along that street line to really enhance that street and really focus on what our community is when it comes to beautification, beautifying that area, which is our spa zone. I have some exciting news to really share with you today, and this literally came to me yesterday at 2 o'clock. So Tom Kirk from the Coachella Valley Association of Governments called me. We put in for this project with the Riverside County Transportation Commission after the state. It met the qualifications, but it didn't score high enough in the state. $45 million is then shuffled down to Riverside County Transportation, and they're able to award projects. The Hacienda project came in number 1 and will be awarded $8.9 million. And why is that so important? Because when you put these projects together, you just can't just grab your general fund and go build these projects. You've got to find funding mechanisms to build these projects. And Desert Hot Springs, again, with the staff that put together this project, really wrote it in a way that it qualified at a very high level. Again, the number 1 project. And I don't want to stop there. I want to keep the good news going. So at the same time, Tom Kirk was on the phone with me. He said, at a $45 million, Scott, you're not getting just $8.9 million. You also have a project from Palm, from I-10 to Camino Aventura, which will finish your Palm Drive stretch, and you're also going to be awarded another $8.9 million. for a total of $17 million. Pretty exciting for the city of Desert Hot Springs to see those types of projects go, and they're safety projects really for our community to make sure people are safe. More streetlights, more sidewalks, more bike lanes. The Indian Canyon Whiting Project is finally finished after 5 years. When I first became mayor in 2016, one of the things I did was take the Coachella Valley Association of Governments Director Tom Kirk down that road, and it was really, really bad street. We partnered with the Riverside County and the city of Palm Springs to enhance that street. It took us quite a few years to do it because of all the different right-of-way issues and moving electrical lines, but that project's finally finished. And if you're trying to get into Desert Hot Springs, out of Desert Hot Springs on Palm Drive or Indian Canyon is a really safe route now due to the way that it's been reconstructed, so we're really proud of that project. The Mountain View is another entrance into our community on the east end, and we worked with the county on that to rehab that street, and we just finished that project. That was about a $600,000 project. In the Tedesco Park, we're going to actually replace our restrooms there. They've built these new prefabbed restrooms that you can actually bring in, drop down. They work really closely, or they work really well for vandalism, so people can't vandalize them. And so we're going to take out the current facility and put this one in. This will be in next summer, and so we're really excited about that in our park. Public Works has also added 2 containers, youth sports, youth football, and AYSO soccer. They've been working really hard in our community, but they're always having to grab their gear and move them down to these fields. And so to make it more convenient for them, we put in these 2 large containers, and now they can keep their gear secure at these parks and not have to travel with it wherever they go. City of Desert Hot Springs also has a flood control project on the east end of the city to help move water. As you all know, the city of Desert Hot Springs is a shiny city on the hill. And when it rains hard up here, all the water travels fast throughout this community. So these projects are really important. Last year we finished a flood control project on 8th Street there to really help the flow of water. And now we're working the east end of our community to do that also. Changeable message signs. Gary worked on this for a while back, and it was just one of those things that really important. One of the things I advocate a lot for is getting over into Palm Springs through Indian Canyon and Gene Autry. And a lot of times those roads are blocked off when you have wind events and flood events. And we're working really closely with the Coachella Valley Association of Governments on a plan for that. And I hope to be able to unveil that next year and what exactly that plan will be. But in the meantime, we want to put together these changeable message signs. So when you're driving out of the city on Indian or Palm Drive, you'll be able to see that the road is closed now, and you can make alternative routes quickly, not having to wait till the last minute wondering if the road is, or texting somebody on Facebook, is the road open? You won't have to do that anymore. This will actually be real time and controlled. When the city of Palm Springs closes their portion, it will show up there. So we're really proud about this. This will actually go live in January of 2023. City of Desert Hot Springs is also have received or will be reimbursed by the state $4.8 million on 60 electrical charging stations throughout the community. So if you have an electric car and you need to charge it, Tedesco Park, Frank Hodge Skate Park, the police station, animal control, a rec center right here, and City Hall will all have chargeable stations for you, and the estimated construction start is in February of next year. Building permits in the City of Desert Hot Springs. 3,796 were issued this last year, and that's how it breaks down there for you. And the fees collected were over $3 million. And business licensing total is $1,395 at a total of $222,000. The housing element, this has been an important piece. A lot of cities in the state of California were threatened by the governor years ago about not being in compliance with their housing element. I went to Long Beach with 40 other cities to talk about our reasons why we are not in compliance. Since then, we have worked to be back in compliance and have worked very closely to get that. I'm proud to say today that we're in full compliance with our housing element. This means it opens up for affordable housing grants for the City of Desert Hot Springs. We'll be working on those, and being able to have those projects and developers come to our community will be important for us. This is a really cool project. These are pre-approved ADUs, the accelerated dwelling units. So a lot of people in the state right now are trying to figure out ways to build something affordable, right? So these ADUs are anywhere from 368 square feet to 968 square feet, and they'll be pre-approved. So you can walk into City Hall, you have a piece of land, you can just buy the plan or go in there, pay the permits, and you're all set. You don't have to do plans, you don't have to go through all the plan check, nothing. You can start building the next day possibly. So this is really a cool opportunity. We actually had a community workshop, as you can see there on the screen, and people were able to ask questions. So really a cool idea in the city of Desert Hot Springs, and I want to thank our community development department for putting that together. The housing market, you kind of see Desert Hot Springs on the lower end there, but I don't look at it as the lower end. What I look at is affordable living. So if you want to buy $1 million home, there's a lot of places to buy those. But if you want to buy something affordable for you and your family, Desert Hot Springs has those, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Ovations is a project, a condominium project on Palm Drive. They are in the grading plan stages right now. It'll be 402 condominiums on 25 acres and 42 residential buildings. This is a cool project also, Polari Mighty Homes. It's the first 3D net zero sustainable homes, which are similar, or an ADU. So they basically 3D print these walls and build them or these homes and build them. And they've taken up they bought 77 lots in the east end of our community, and they're actually in the process of putting some models up, and they will begin construction very soon if they haven't already. Lennar is in Skyborn. Lennar is a national home builder, and I announced last year that they've come to our community to build. They've been selling in their first phase, and they continue to build in the Skyborn master plan. Agua Dulce, GHA Homes. A lot of you know Mario. He actually built out that project in Agua Dulce of 73 single-family homes, and they have completed. They are now moving to Rancho Descanso, which is just down the street on Palm Drive, just south of the Vista, Montana senior community there. And so this is kind of a look for their project, 3D look that will look at the San Jacinto Mountains. So we're really thrilled about that. They're in plan checks and permits right now, and they should start construction very soon. We also have a project in the middle of the city. It's called Silver Rock. They basically bought out another one of those developments that stalled during the recession, 41 homes, and they're in the process of building beautiful homes there. This is a really cool project. Fifth Street Trailer, or it was called Fifth Street Trailer Park, Mobile Home Park. For many years was crime-ridden, and we went in there with our assemblyman's help with housing community development, and we eradicated the problem there. We have a current owner of that project that is taking out all the bad element there. They've knocked down all the trees, put boulders up to make it secure, and they're in the process of putting in these new units, and we'll be working with the residents of that community to make sure that they're safe, all the ones that are in there doing the right thing. So we're really excited about this project. So a lot of great little projects coming up here, and our community development department put this little video together to kind of show you that there's a lot going on in the city of Desert Hot Springs, a lot of interest, and we're really excited with what's out there today. And then we'd like to announce that the Maverick gas station, it'll be the first in Southern California, or not the first in Southern California, first in Coachella Valley, and it is actually going to be built just north of the freeway, just north of AMPM there. It's another travel center, another fuel station here in the city of Desert Hot Springs, but we're really proud to have them part of our community. The Burger King, a lot of you have been asking, when is it opening? When is it opening? It's opening soon. They're finishing the final touches on that, so we're excited to have them in our community also. Economic development, the jobs, that's really important to the city of Desert Hot Springs, is supporting our local businesses and our small business owners. Desert Hot Springs is one of 3 cities that are fully restored employment, and I'll show you that right now. This was another slide from the Coachella Valley Economic Partnership the other day when they had their presentation. And it shows there's only 3 cities that have actually, the orange line shows what was lost. We recoup that plus more. So the city of Desert Hot Springs is above and beyond when it comes back to people getting back to work. So we're really excited about that. And this slide is really, really awesome to know. We had a little bit of a fight when we had to go to districts with the city, Desert Hot Springs, for elections. So we kind of had to divvy up the city, and the reason that we were told that is that we didn't have enough diversity. Well, they did a diversity slide here at CVEP, and they found that Desert Hot Springs is the most diverse city in the Coachella Valley. So, I won't say much more to them about that, but Moving on to our downtown, we're really excited about this. We focused many years ago when I first was elected to City Council in 2007 on a kind of a renovation of our downtown. And a lot of that was accomplished at Palm and Pearson. But it was a really big plan. It was called the Vortex Plan. And it was much bigger than we probably should have taken on at that time. And then the redevelopment money was taken away from our local cities. There really wasn't a lot to focus on at that time. So we decided that we're going to renovate some of our downtown, but we're going to do it more responsibly, and we're going to take a small chunk at a time. So we put together a steering committee of some local business owners, residents, and really asked them to help us steer this in the right direction. So on Pearson Boulevard, from Cactus to West, we're really going to focus that as the beginning stage here. So we've put together a stakeholder group. We actually have a grant from Southern California Association of Governments on parking management that they had a group come out and actually will focus on how to build parking in and around that area and our community so that it's walkable and reasonable for when people want to come to events. We also were awarded a project through Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, a regional planning a grant that they're going to come out and for free, all we have to do is pay for their housing and their stay here, is they're going to actually help us put together that plan at no charge for our city staff. So we're really excited about this. This is going to be something that next year we should have some renderings and we'll really start to really build it out. But you can kind of see Cal Poly's been out. They've actually met with our local business people. They've been to some community events. They're putting together the plan. This is the downtown kind of a concept. This is the downtown area, but the concept is more walkable businesses, restaurants, those types of things. We have a couple different business owners that are talking about container parks, putting small businesses available there. And so we're really building a culture down there that we hope that will promote more people to be able to be prideful about their community. And these are just some of the businesses that are actually opening right now in the downtown area. Yes, that is Froyo. That means frozen yogurt. I learned that from my kids. Frozen yogurt's coming to Desert Hot Springs, and she'll be open very soon. We're very excited about that and some of the other local businesses. Councilmember Pai and Mayor Pro Tem Gardner, they worked on a spa revitalization incentive program for our local spas. Anyone that puts some money in can go back to us and ask for some tax relief based on what they did for their local spas. So with that said, we did a pilot with Azure Palms Hot Springs Resort and Spa. That's one of our larger hotels on Hacienda Avenue that was bought by a small boutique business owner at the time, and she wanted to really buy something bigger and take it to the next level. It's a beautiful spot. It's probably something that comparable to Two Bunch Palms, Glen Ivy, those types of resorts. If you have a chance, you should really go visit it. They have day spa, they have hotel rooms, they have spas in the rooms, they have hot water coming out of the ground. But she was able to put, I believe, $10 million in that hotel, and she's able to get some of that back via her occupancy tax relief based on her investment into our community. So we're encouraging more spas to do that. If you want to see our staff or even our subcommittee that worked on this, they'll be able to explain it in more depth to you. But this is a really exciting program to us. And then at the beginning, you were able to hear some announcements or some great words from Amazon. We're really excited to be able to approve this project in the city of Desert Hot Springs. Obviously, always the timeline of construction is concerned with the economy today and what's going on in the economy. So we do know this, is that the property is going to be developed by Amazon. It is going to be 5 stories, 3.4 million just over 3.4 million square feet. They're looking to produce 1,800 jobs in the community of Desert Hot Springs. It was approved in March of 2022, and there was a little bit of a hiccup with one of our environmental groups, but they worked really closely with them. I was really proud of the way they came in and worked with them and was able to get over that hump. What's exciting for Desert Hot Springs is that tentatively we're looking at them starting their plan checks next year. Hope to be in construction by the end of next year, and their target date to be open would be 2025, first quarter. So we're really excited about that in the city of Desert Hot Springs. And then another great announcement, this actually literally came yesterday afternoon. Royal Emerald Pharmaceuticals was something that we made some major announcements with a couple years ago. They've been a good partner with our community. They reorganized their executive staff last year, and we were wondering when they were going to announce, and literally yesterday they did a webinar announcing their next steps. So we were able to put the slide in at the last minute, but they have now partnered with BioHarvest Science, and this is a product that they believe will be great for the federal government's approvals when they go through the FDA approvals. Royal Emerald and BioHarvest, Royal Emerald actually holds the license. They're only one of 7 licensees in the country right now looking at federal trials for marijuana to be legalized federally. And this is the product that will be headquartered out of the city of Desert Hot Springs. It was announced yesterday that they're not changing their headquarters. It's staying here in Desert Hot Springs, and they're going to do all their research and development here in Desert Hot Springs, and it'll be the headquarters for the United States. And so we're really proud of that. They're revving up with employees. They believe the first quarter of next year they'll be fully staffed and starting their R&D. So we're really excited about that. In Taco Tour, what's best when you come to Desert Hot Springs? Where do we go eat? Well, we have Mexican, we have Mexican, and we have Mexican. Greatest food in the country. My wife and I probably cook it 3 times a week, but we also love to go out and eat it probably 3 times a week. Desert Hot Springs has some of the best Mexican food that you'll find in the Coachella Valley, as you can see some of the restaurants up there. So our economic development team decided to put together a taco tour. So when our residents come or you come to our community, you can get these cards, you can go out, you can rate the tacos at each of these restaurants, and it'll be a fun thing for you to do in our city. Also, I wanted to announce that in February of next year, we're going to have on Pearson there in our downtown area a Food Truck Fridays. So starting then, we're going to hopefully start to build the vibe downtown there. We're going to have a bunch of food trucks come in. We'll get people to walk around and be able to have a nice evening here in Desert Hot Springs. So Food Truck Fridays are coming. We'll have more on that very soon. And also, this is something that's really important to the city of Desert Hot Springs. For many years, we had an app here in Desert Hot Springs that people love to use. People in Desert Hot Springs are working people. They're on the go, but they like to report things when needed, right? Well, that app eventually just died out because it wasn't supported anymore IT-wise. So we're in the process of putting together, working with My Civic app. This is going to be familiar to you because it'll be something similar to that, where you can report things. You'll be able to see what's going on in your community. You'll have it on your phone. How many of us look on our phone 50 times a day? Our calendars, everything we need to do, this will be an app right on your phone, and we hope to be launching that live in February of 2023. And then we talked a little bit about district elections. The city of Desert Hot Springs was forced to go into districts, so we went through the process, and it ended up with 4 districts. And still to this day, we just had an election. People were calling me at the last minute, why can't I vote for city council? Well, you're not in their district. So the mayor will stay at large. There'll be 4 districts. This year, districts 1 and 3 were up. Congratulations to Gary Gardner, who had no opponents. And congratulations to Jan Pye. We know we still have a few votes to count, but she basically had no opponents. She's going to win. And then 2 years from now, the mayor's seat will be up in districts 2 and 4. 4 doesn't have a representative as of right now, the way the cycle is, but I'm sure they will in 2 years. Hiking trails is so important to the city of Desert Hot Springs for so long. How many people come to the Coachella Valley and say, you got to go to the Bump and Grind, you got to go to Palm Springs, all these fantastic trails, but everybody forgets about Desert Hot Springs. We have some of the most fantastic trails. And we pushed for so many years to get things done and to really have a map, and it just never got there. Well, Gary Gardner's, he's like a dog with a bone. Once he gets something, he goes for it until he gets it done, and he's not going to let go. And so he worked with a different, I always forget, I want to say CVB, but it's not CVB. It's Visit GPS, yes. It's just 16 years on city council. It stays CVB for me. But he worked with them very closely to produce this map and to make sure that we were someone that you can come to our city hall and say, where are the hiking trails? And they can hand you a map now and you can go out and see these trails. They're beautiful trails. If you like to hike, you got to take some of these trails. Again, this is another opportunity for us. The Mountains Conservancy helped purchase land and work with the Long Canyon Trail. This is a trail that a lot of people don't realize is so close to the city of Desert Hot Springs that you can walk right into the National Monument. It's on the east end of our city. It's about a 2 or 3 minute drive up the dirt road. There's a trailhead there. You're literally standing in the National Monument. It's a great little hike. So we were able to clean it up. The National Park said they would help clean it up and make sure they patrol it. And so this is, again, another opportunity for the city of Desert Hot Springs for people to come up and hike. This is kind of fun. So our executive program director, Roberta Cernick, where are you at? She's down here. She helped put this event together. Say thank you to her. She's our program manager. She also handles all our rec programs. And one of the things that she found that's really cool is this hiking discovery app thing. And so I downloaded it on my phone the other day. It took less than a minute. And there's multiple areas in the city of Desert Hot Springs you can go to. And it's kind of fun with your kids. There's missions and everything else. You actually have to go out to the locations. It's GPS to do the missions and find the missions. But this is a really cool little app for our kids and our families in the city of Desert Hot Springs to really go out and have a treasure hunt in the community here. So on some of our hiking trails. So if you get a chance, download that. Bring your family up and do those little events. I want to talk a little bit about our recreational program in the city of Desert Hot Springs. We transferred from having this facility ran by nonprofit organizations to really taking over most of it ourselves here in Desert Hot Springs. And the reason we did that is we saw the value in what having our own organization ran by our own people to really give pride back to our community and really put together the programs that we wanted. It's hard when you work with a nonprofit to change their direction a lot of times. So with that, we have a recreational program which is just to your left and my right here. And this building here has kids that are able to come to this program from the ages of 7 to 18. It's a $25 cost, $45 with transportation, and they have everything from a teen center to computer labs, art centers, learning centers, and the program that's run here is really well run. It's an educational program, not just a place to have kids safe for the day or the evening, but it's a place where they actually get education. We're going to go through that real quick here. Civic Rec is a program that we use electronically for you to be able to create an account and be able to register for all your recreational programs. You're going to see a lot of them here today. So this is, again, a fast way for you to be able to see what's going on and be able to register for these programs. Our rec center here has an art program which actually gives students, they help them learn in different ways of art, not just throw them some paste and some construction paper, but they actually go through this process. And if you see these pictures up here, you'll see some of the projects that they're doing and what they produce. It's really cool. These are, again, they took recyclables and they really put together a program on how you could reuse those recyclables in art. So it was kind of a cool thing. Our computer lab, again, is a state-of-the-art computer lab that helps kids focus on education and how to interact with computers, but they're building robots. So isn't that cool? And they can control them. So it's really another cool little program that they're doing here with the city of Desert Hot Springs. Our learning center has a classroom in it. It has teachers that are credentialed that can help students and be able to get them over the hump if they need tutoring or whatever else their needs are each day. They don't just come here, get dropped off by the bus and say, wait for your parents to get here. They actually have a program that will help keep them learning and help them keep them engaged. And these are just some of the pictures of some of the activities that they're doing here at the rec center. The game room, that's the funnest part, right, for all the kids. You got the game room over there, but you also got this gymnasium we'll talk about in a few minutes here, but some of the games that they were able to play, and they, it's really a fun opportunity for them. Their outdoor area, they get to explore the outdoors and be able to have an environment like that. Whoops, I went too fast there. The teen center there, again, a lot of our teens are on the streets sometimes because they don't think they have any place to go. We have a full teen center here in Desert Hot Springs that they can come to. They can be provided with the services they need. They have activities that are really focused around STEM and skill building and those types of things and social, emotional techniques. That's really important to this day, isn't it, especially for our teens. Again, this is some of the pictures from our teen center and what they're doing there. Gary tested; he's okay. Our gymnasium here in Desert Hot Springs this is what you're in today. This is our gym here. This is an active hub of our community. We had it for a lot of years, not a safe place for kids to go, but there is now. And not just kids, but our community. They can come here and they can use this facility. And we'll talk a little bit about that. That picture in the middle was the Desert Hot Springs city staff, and yes, I'm in there somewhere, playing against our championship basketball team. And it was a really fun game. The police chief lost it for us, right, Jim? No, was it the fire chief? That's what you were trying to tell me. I don't know if Chief Henson's here today. I can't see anybody out there. But no, we had a really good time. We had some of our city employees and our police department, fire department out there, and we played the students. Yes, we were up by 25 at one point and lost by 5. Students have a lot more go than some of us older people, but it was a fun day. Our fitness center here in Desert Hot Springs is just over here, connected to this building here. And if you're a resident of Desert Hot Springs, for $50 a year, not a month, you can have a full gymnasium here, full gym for your health care. Our John H. Furby Pool is in our aquatic center here in Desert Hot Springs is really important to us as we built this facility for exercise and for use. Unfortunately, with funding, it's only been open most of the summer, but I think our city council is really moving forth in our next budget cycle, which will be next year, and trying to figure out ways to fund it year-round. Might not be fully funded all day, but maybe there's opportunities for us, and I'm going to challenge my city council in the next budget cycle to see how we can figure that out, because I think it's important for our community to have these types of programs. All right? Someone likes to swim. I like it. Our indoor gymnasium, which is really important to us, which we're in today, we have all kinds of programs in here, and for $25 a year as a resident or $75 for non-residents, you can be a member of this. If you're 7 to 15, if you're over 16, it's $50 and $150. But you could be a member of this area, and you could come use this gymnasium certain days. I believe Wednesdays, Monday through Wednesdays, 10 a.m. to 12, or at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. You can use this gymnasium for playing basketball or whatever else they got going on in here. Other programs here at our Health and Wellness Center, we have karate, yoga, hula, wow, that's awesome, Zumba, and then programs that our rec directors trying to put together is a pickleball, youth theater with orchestra, tango classes, art classes, fitness classes, and teen leadership programs. So you can see there's a full thing going on here, and it's really exciting. Thank you, honey, and her wife. She's gonna joke with me later. I never call her honey. These are some of the classes, again, offered through the rec center. And so with Desert Hot Springs, when you say there's nothing to do, please reach out and see what there is to do before you say that. Desert Hot Springs Little League last year partnered with the City of Desert Hot Springs, and the City of Desert Hot Springs has taken over the program completely to make sure that our youth baseball program is run at a very high level, and we're really excited to continue that program. This year, any child that wants to play will be only $25, and it will include a full uniform for baseball here in the City of Desert Hot Springs. And I want to thank all the city staff that have stepped up to help and really make this program a working program for the City of Desert Hot Springs. Now we need you to step up as volunteers and umpires, so if you're interested in volunteering for Little League as a coach or umpiring, please let us know. There is a lot of room for help out there when it comes to these programs. Our summer basketball program will start soon, and that's going to be $25 a month. This will be youth-age kids will be able to come out and have a 6-week program, and that was the program where they finished and they played the championship against the city staff, which we lost. Again, thanks, Chiefs. Special events at Desert Hot Springs is we always have special events in Desert Hot Springs. These are our special events that we continue to support in the City of Desert Hot Springs. And then the Civic Academy, this is really a cool program. So residents of the City of Desert Hot Springs, government's always the bad thing, right? And you don't understand government a lot of times, and that's why you say it's so bad. So what we put together is a Civic Academy. No public officials, meaning no city council, no mayor, nobody comes there to have anything to do with this. This is completely our department heads being able to teach a class 7 weeks on different departments in the city and how they work, and really building a relationship with our constituents. And this will continue throughout next year, but a 7-week program, and you can kind of see there was some attendance there this last time, and it was well received in the City of Desert Hot Springs. I want to thank our staff for putting that together. One Future Coachella Valley is an organization that really gives lots of scholarships to our community. And sorry, I got a little something stuck there. We as the City of Desert Hot Springs has been focused on supporting One Future Coachella Valley. We gave a $25,000 grant to them, and they matched it, giving over, I believe it's over, I don't see it on the screen, that's the next one, but they basically matched this over $50,000 in grants to the City of Desert Hot Springs students to make sure that they can go on to college or wherever they need to go. And we will continue to support those types of efforts because we have students attending universities and Ivy League schools in the City of Desert Hot Springs that have really graduated. 320 kids graduating from Desert Hot Springs High School each and every year are going on to bigger and better things, and we hope they bring something back to Desert Hot Springs, but if not, that's fine. But we want to make sure that they get all the support financially they can get. And Dr. Carry-On Foundation is another foundation that we work closely with. Last year, we were able to give another, I think it was $5,000 or $6,000 grant, and they matched it 3 times over, and over $45,000 has been given to students in and around our city, or in our city, for grants, opportunities, and scholarship opportunities. Habitat for Humanity is somebody else who we partnered with this year. They have 2 lots in the City of Desert Hot Springs, and we broke ground a couple months ago on the 2 lots. This was an opportunity to see 2 new families get homes here in Desert Hot Springs, and we were really supported by using housing money to be able to buy down the permit fees and everything that they were needed so that they could build that at a cost that would really buy down the mortgage for the individuals moving to Desert Hot Springs. But 2 homes will pop up really soon in the city of Desert Hot Springs for Habitat for Humanity, and thank you for what they're doing. The triathlon is back. We actually announced this a couple years ago that we were going to do this, and then COVID hit. So this will be the first annual. And I want to thank Jackie Chapman for helping me through Rotary to really put this on. So the City of Desert Hot Springs will have its first triathlon starting March 23rd. It'll be a 3.1-mile 5K. It'll start here at the Health and Wellness Center and go around the high school. It's a run-walk, and then it'll go to a 10-mile bike hike off of Pearson and back, and a 150-meter swim here at the John H. Furby Pool. So really excited to bring that to City of Desert Hot Springs. And our holiday parade, this year's Grand Marshal will be Eduardo Garcia, our assemblyman for the 56th District. We wanted to thank him really for everything he's done. As you guys know, watching the news and all the elections, that the assembly districts have changed, and his district will be going to the 36th District, and then we'll be moving into the 47th District. But we wanted to say thank you to him for all the work that he's done and for really supporting the City of Desert Hot Springs. So we're going to make him our Grand Marshal of our parade. So let's give him a hand. Thank you. I know he's not here today, but... And yes, I'm at final thoughts. You guys never thought I would get there, right? You're like, wow. I wanted to try to read something here. I know there's not a lot of lights up here, but before we close today, I wanted to give you some final thoughts. There's some lights. Thank you. You are the business leaders and dedicated volunteers and passionate constituents of the City of Desert Hot Springs and the Coachella Valley. Under my leadership, I have worked hard to promote Desert Hot Springs as a partner of the Coachella Valley and Riverside County. We sometimes take the back seat to the bigger issues in hopes that we will have our turn eventually, and I think you can see some of that today, that we're getting our turn and we're really built up good relationships in our community. I've shown you proof that we have some of the lowest crime, if not the lowest crime, in the Coachella Valley. We're the fastest growing city. This last census showed us as growing 25% from 26,000 to 33,000 people, but a lot of people don't realize that we service over 50,000 people with the outlining areas from Sky Valley, Desert Edge, North Palm Springs, Painted Hills. Those are the people that come in and utilize our services. When I was first elected in 2007, one of the first fights that we ever had, and this was literally a fight, was where the West Valley campus was going to go for the College of the Desert. And we honestly, I know I'm a little biased on this, but the presentation that we made in 2007-8 was one of the best presentations, and we had a study done showing the growth of the Coachella Valley, the need for the younger people and the working people to be here in Desert Hot Springs. But politically we lost, and that was that. Well, over time, the College of the Desert did not reach out as they moved the campus multiple times, or they moved the campus from the location that was originally slated, and didn't even consult with the City of Desert Hot Springs. And so I've been at the forefront, and I want to thank our current trustee, B. Gonzalez, for all her dedication to our city and really putting up the forefront to appoint me to the Palm Springs Campus Development Committee. I'm only one of about 10 people that were appointed to that committee, but I'm the only person from Desert Hot Springs, and I don't think that's completely fair. I think the City of Desert Hot Springs needs to be at the table. We need to say what we want in the West Valley campus, and it's not just a Palm Springs campus. I have great partners in the City of Palm Springs, and this has nothing to do with them. But this has to do with my constituents here in Desert Hot Springs. It truly does. We have the need, we have the growth, and we've proven that over 15 years of people saying that they were going to build a West Valley campus, and it never happened. People saying from College of the Desert, we're going to give back to your community, we're going to build campuses, we're going to build retail areas where you can have people sign up, and all those promises that were never kept. I also want to challenge the college board, whether it's the same or it's different in the next couple weeks, that they keep Desert Hot Springs at the forefront, and I'll stay there also. This also leads me to another challenge. I know we have great partners in healthcare, and I want to keep that at the forefront. 15 years ago, when we built this Health and Wellness Center, we were told that doctors and healthcare facilities won't come to Desert Hot Springs because of the uninsured. So we partnered with Borrego Health, and we brought those uninsured needs to our community. We have a urgent care for uninsured and people in need. We have specialty services. We have dental services. But now it's time for the healthcare community to really look at Desert Hot Springs as an opportunity. We have working families. 53% of them work. And that means that when their child's sick, or they're a single mom or a single dad or a grandparent taking care of kids, or their senior elderly loved ones, it's not easy to drive 30 minutes to 45 minutes. We need urgent care services, and we need occupational services in Desert Hot Springs. And I hope as the healthcare community grows, they really look at Desert Hot Springs as an opportunity. And I know our economic development manager will be looking at that also. But really what I wanted to talk about today was the image that Desert Hot Springs has faced over years. In the 90s, we know we had our problems, right? 20 years later, 30 years later, we're still fighting those images, but you see it's different. The crime is the lowest. The business opportunities are the best. We have some of the best people in the community of Desert Hot Springs. I continue to hear from developers, even from another developer today, that the City of Desert Hot Springs staff is wonderful. And so with that said, I want to recognize them for what they do for our city. So I'd like you to stand up and be recognized. These are truly the heartbeat of our community. Our city manager, Luke Rainey. Stay standing. Our city attorney wasn't able to be here today. She came down with a cold, and it seems to be going around quite a bit. But Jennifer Mirzarati, she does a lot of great work for us. Our deputy city manager, Doria Whelms. Our assistant city manager, Daniel Porras. All our department directors and managers, please stand up. Our public safety staff, led by our chief, Jim Henson, our fire chief, Beverlyn, and our code enforcement manager, Christina Newsom, please stand up. Our city commissioners and our volunteers, please stand up. These are the true people that make everyday work in the city of Desert Hot Springs. Thank you. You can be seated, and please watch this video. Roberta, remind me on the back of your chair, there's a little bag for you to take home with the City of Desert Hot Springs on it for your travels. I'm not the most charismatic mayor in the Coachella Valley. I'm not, the most jump around and see me mayor in the city of Coachella Valley, but I'm the most passionate when it comes to Desert Hot Springs. And I'm passionate about representing our city council. So on behalf of the City of Desert Hot Springs, I want to say thank you. I want to end in a quote. Since the Coachella Valley is getting a new hockey rink, I'm going to end with the great one, Wayne Gretzky's quote. You miss 100% of your shots you don't take. Desert Hot Springs is taking every shot it can to get every dollar it can to make Desert Hot Springs the place to be. On behalf of Jan Pye, Mayor Pro Tem Gary Gardner, and Councilmember Russell Betts, and I believe Councilmember Nunez wasn't able to be here today, I want to thank you for showing up and being supportive and a partner for the city of Desert Hot Springs.
Thank you, Mayor. Another round of applause. Excellent presentation. It's great to be a Chamber of Commerce that can help with the growth that you clearly are planning here. Just a couple of announcements for the Chamber. We're rounding out the year here. We've got a mixer in Old Town Artisan Studio in La Quinta on December 6th at 5:30 p.m. We've also got in January the big Southwest Arts Festival at the Polo Grounds in Indio. That's January 26th through 29th. I'll encourage you to go to gcvcc.org to check out the event schedule. One of the great things about being part of a larger organization is it brings scale to the events that we bring. We keep our local flavor with our local chambers, but we also want to spread the word about business doings across the Coachella Valley. So thank you very much. We're adjourned.